This rifle comes to us from Belgium, just like the FN Scar 17. However, unlike every other assault rifle in the game, the FAL can only be fired in a semi-automatic fashion. Every other assault rifle in the game? In today's video, we'll be covering the other assault rifle available to us that is not fully automatic, the FR556, otherwise known as the Famas. Brought to us from the Western European country of France, it has a default 3-round burst fire mode that, while in burst, fires very quickly, even faster than the MP7. This is held back, however, by a decently long burst delay, making this weapon a far higher skill weapon than many others in the game. This weapon simply cannot be sprayed at your enemy, and it cannot be spammed out like the FAL. This weapon has a hard cap on the fire rate. With that said, the weapon is a 3-shot kill to the torso, so long as you're in the weapon's closest effective range and hit your entire burst. You'll be able to kill someone faster than the MP7. If you miss at close range, however, you likely won't get a chance to get that second burst off. If you want to see a specific gun in my next gun workshop, feel free to comment down below and I'll be sure to get it made for you. After this gun workshop, we'll only have the Odin, the M13, and now the AN94 left in the assault rifle section, so feel free to let me know what you prefer. Now, enough of that, let's get into my builds for this weapon. Starting off, as always, with a close range build, I present to you the Zip Tie. While this gun isn't great for close range, this build forces it to be fast enough to get you on target first and pull that trigger sooner. Starting off, I forego a muzzle and a barrel, and get right to the tack laser to increase ADS speed and aiming stability. I next use the Viper reflex sight, since I just don't like the irons on this gun at all. I next use the FSS tack wrap to further increase our ADS speed. I then use the sleight of hand perk to counteract the very slow reload of this gun, and I finish off with the stipple grip tape to increase ADS speed again and reduce sprint out time. The Zip Tie forces the user into high tension situations where other spammier weapons could have an advantage. However, in the hands of a high skill player, nothing is going to kill someone faster than an accurate burst with this build. Basically, every single adjustment from the base FR556 is there to make the weapon aim and move fast. I typically don't run perks on my weapons, as I almost always feel their attachments are better than any perk. However, with this gun, I feel like the reload is painfully slow, and given that every trigger pull eats 3 bullets regardless of your intentions, you have a maximum of 10 bursts per magazine. With so few attempts to kill before reloading, I definitely feel it's best to be fully loaded at all times, and sleight of hand makes sure of that. The tack lasers quickly become one of my most preferred attachments for multiplayer, as the laser is rarely ever a giveaway since I don't camp and ADS a doorway, and the benefits are all really good. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory with this build. This build is really good for standard multiplayer. It can definitely be used in ground war, however the range there could become an issue, and I feel this build is borderline useless in Warzone, so please do not use it there. For my long-range build of the FR556, I use what I call the blues. Get it? Because it's blue, and it makes your enemies sad when you kill them with it? Forget it. I start this build off with the monolithic suppressor to keep us off the radar while we pick enemies off, as well as increasing our range. I next use the HK 24.4-inch sniper barrel to greatly increase our range and reduce our overall recoil. I again use the tack laser for the same reasons as before. I use my favorite hybrid sight, the 4x flip hybrid, to offer a variety of engagement ranges, and I round things off with the sleight of hand perk yet again. The main benefits of using the blues comes from being able to greatly extend the effective range of the one burst kill this weapon can offer. The biggest help in this department comes from the barrel, as it also reduces our recoil, making it far easier for those 3-round bursts to all connect with the enemy's torso. I realized that with the suppressor and barrel that the gun would aim far slower, so I again used the tack laser to help compensate for this. If you've seen any of my other weapon videos with the 4x hybrid sight, you'll see why I love it so much. It is very effective at close and long ranges, and doesn't really slow down your ADS speed all that much. This build will be dropping enemies in one burst at far longer ranges than the enemy team will expect, so don't be afraid to take those pot shots at distant enemies. You'll have plenty of time to reload if you need it, seeing as you'll be far enough away to buy you time. This build is great for all game modes, but it's definitely best for ground war. Its Warzone usage is definitely limited, as it doesn't have a larger magazine, but I typically don't cover builds specifically for Warzone, since I'm sure you've all seen bigger YouTubers cover that topic to death. If any of you would like my preferred Warzone builds for guns, feel free to let me know. And that'll be it for France's FR556. If I'm being honest, this gun feels either really great or absolutely terrible. The best way I can describe this weapon is mostly inconsistent. There'll be plenty of times where I'll get an easy one-burst kill, and other times where I feel like I'm having to hit 6 or more shots just to get a kill. If any weapon in Modern Warfare needs some love, it is definitely this weapon. I haven't played a lot of COD before this, so even in other shooters, there are typically two types of burst weapons. Spammy, less accurate bursts, and supremely accurate slow-firing bursts that are more like precision rifles. For example, in Black Ops 4, you have the Daemon for the spammier version and the ABR or Swordfish for the more precise burst weapons. Unfortunately, the FR556 falls somewhere in the middle, making it a jack-of-all-trades but a master of none. To fix this, I would suggest that the game adds in a trigger attachment option to this weapon, just as the pistols have. A lightweight trigger could make it spammier at the cost of horizontal or vertical recoil, while a heavier trigger would make it far more precise but slower to fire. Those are just my suggestions though, and I doubt anyone high up in the COD management groups will ever see this, but one can only hope. Overall, this weapon can be fun to use, but you need to really be in the mood for it and adjust your playstyle accordingly. Even with all I've said, please give this weapon a try, if for nothing else than variety. If you're hoping to try this gun, but you're not sure how, hopefully these builds will get you where you want to be with this weapon. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed putting it together for you. If any of you out there liked what you saw or heard, feel free to drop a like on this video. If you think any of your friends might like what I have to say, then feel free to share it with them, or anyone really. And lastly, if you want to hear more from me, don't want to miss any of my uploads, you can subscribe by hitting that little button down below. By doing that, and being sure to turn on those notifications, you'll never miss an upload from your new favorite YouTuber. As always, I wish you all a pleasant day, and I hope you have a great week coming up. This has been Doodleman149, and I will see you later.